very warm good evening to all of you to another very amazing session on Shiksha. So I'm Bhagyashree, your moderator for this session. And now I like to welcome the expert panelists who we have here. And it gives me immense pleasure to welcome Dipti Singh ma'am, expert counselor. And we are very proud and honored to have her here because um, she has an amazing experience in her expertise, and she's also working as head of skills division at Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, New Delhi, and have been an integral part of in creation of national policy for career guidance and counseling. So thank you so very much, ma'am, for being part of this webinar and sharing your valuable time and information and knowledge with all the students out here. Yes, ma'am.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you, Bhagyashree. Thank you, Shiksha. And thank you to all the audience who are joining us through various channels. And it's an honor and pleasure to be here. And
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to all the questions and all the interactions that happen today.
Absolutely. We all look forward to this session. So let's just begin. We could, I think all of you could see the screen, and it has a amazing visual presentation here. So ma'am, we would like you to please start off and help them explain about this.
Sure. So what I thought is I will try and do two things. One is speak as much intermittently, like talk about the presentation, then take questions, then talk something, and then take questions. So that it's interactive. And second is that I will try and mix both the languages. I'll try using Hindi wherever and English also as well. So that if there is something that students would like to understand in Hindi or are comfortable talking in Hindi, so we'll make it a bilingual session. Sure. So to begin with, aaj ka jo presentation hai, I understand that we are looking at how do we define careers just after class 12, or if we have scored low marks in class 12. So before I begin, I want to tell you that, most of us, we assume that, or we have these general perceptions that science is for intelligent students, and these are very scoring subjects, and there are larger job opportunities in the science sector, while commerce is for students who cannot cope up with science or have a little, less intelligence, and humanities is for even those students who have absolutely no interest in studies. So ये टाइम चला गया है when साइंस कॉमर्स एंड ह्यूमैनिटीज को इंटेलेक्ट पर रेट किया जाता था. अभी आप देखेंगे दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी एडमिशंस में ही या किसी भी यूनिवर्सिटी एडमिशन में that this trend for having a good score, 98 99 percentiles जा रहे, percentages जा रहे for admissions in SRCC or in Jesus and Mary and other Delhi University top colleges. So वो humanities के लिए है, वो ऐसा नहीं है कि वो science के courses का admission दे रहे हैं. So the prospects of job, the prospects of careers is not anymore limited to science or fields of technology. अब ये सब क्यों हो रहा है? बिकॉज आई थॉट मैंने इंजीनियरिंग करी है तो मेरे बेटे को तो इंजीनियर ही बनना चाहिए, और इफ आई एम अ डॉक्टर देन आई वुड लाइक माय द होल सेटअप दैट आई हैव क्रिएटेड टू बी हेरिटेड बाय माय चिल्ड्रन. So that is one, and then it gives a sense of pride to parents that अच्छा मेरा बच्चा तो IIT से इंजीनियरिंग कर रहा है, या मेरी बेटी तो कानपुर से वो कर रही है, मेडिकल कर रही है, या वो so हमने tags बना दिए हैं, certain tags which are traditionally well known in the society. And of course, there is pressure from parents, from family. आपको पता है शर्मा जी का लड़का यहाँ से US से MBA कर रहा है और तुम यहाँ दिल्ली में हो. And then mostly we end up making wrong decisions because we do not have complete information, or we have biases because of our experiences, or we have half knowledge about certain careers. That, for example, security is a profession जो कि आज से 5 साल पहले was only looked at कि it is just a men oriented profession, but now we see female security guards coming at malls and checking booths and everywhere. So ऐसे करके धीरे धीरे हर bias तोड़ा जा रहा है, stereotyping तोड़ी जा रही है कि careers are not limited to certain gender or certain class of people. So धीरे धीरे people are opening up and more acceptable towards different careers, like being a chef or being a sports person or being a journalist or being a media profession, or showing interest in automation, robotics, and so much so forth. So ये बातें जो यहाँ लिखी हुई हैं ये वही सेम है जिसकी साइंस और ह्यूमैनिटीज का जो क्राइटेरिया था अब वो एग्जिस्ट नहीं करता. इट हैज मूव्ड ऑन फ्रॉम the percentage of marks. So I want everybody to believe the fact and to actually make career decision based on your abilities, your interest, and not what you think कि मेरी friend कर रही है या मेरा friend कर रहा है या मेरे पापा ने बोला है या मेरे भैया ऐसा कर रहे हैं, because that doesn't work anymore. The field or the competition or the existing world of work appreciates only skills, only talents, and is no more based on कि आपके 10th और 12th में कितने marks आए थे या आपने entrance कौन सा clear किया था. The world has become very, very skill oriented. People are talking more on hands-on skills, your ability to possess soft skills like problem solving, creative thinking, team management, and social skills, communication skills, writing skills. So now a person in a job is not just about being able to write a code or make a dish. It's about other skills as well. So I think that whenever, even if you've scored low, 60%, 70%, 40%, 30%, 30 to nahi, 40% or above in your class 12, it is time that you assess what you think you are good at. अब वो असेसमेंट कैसे हो सकता है? 2-3 तरीके हैं. पहला तरीका है जो बहुत पॉपुलर है कि आप assessment test दीजिए, career assessment test, psychometric test, and various tests that talk about what is your inclination towards which career. So that is one. I somehow believe, and I have been in a group of like-minded people who suggest that psychometric tests ka analysis is not 100%, casted in stone type ka, ki if you've scored this, or your psychometric assessment says that you should be a pilot, then you should be a pilot. It also depends on your dexterity, your vision, and there are other multiple factors that that once put together decides that if you are a right fit to be a pilot or not. So assess your skills. The first method of assessing is that we do some kind of psychometric analysis to understand what is your area of interest. The second is that we do internships, which is very, very important. We do internships to understand that what is the kind of career I would like to take. I go and work 2 months in a financial firm, in a stockbroking firm. For a couple of months in my summer internship for my graduation, I work in a automotive organization on the shop floor to understand how does a line work in manufacturing, or I go to a call center and work. So unless you expose yourself to different careers, you will not be able to understand what is the kind of skill that you're made up of, or what is your area of interest. So unless you expose yourself to areas of interest, then only you will be able to make right career choices. Which means that after you have done 3-4 internships, done 4-5 projects for various organizations, you will have a good sense that if you want to get into marketing, or you want to get into sales, or you want to get into operations, or you want to do project management, or you want to do human resource management. So those kind of your interest areas will come out once you have done some kind of internships or some kind of on-the-job trainings. So those are very, very, I think they are very important to help you assess what are your core areas or what are your strengths. And I think the third one is take guidance, which is that if you do not know how or what am I good at, take guidance from your teachers, your counselors, your career experts, your coaches, your seniors who have been in those areas, or who have knowledge about those areas, and they can tell you or share with you their experiences, and then you can decide, okay, call center job requires me to have a graveyard shift, get up in the night at 9 p.m. and sleep throughout the day. So is that something that I can do? Or being a makeup artist, it requires hand-eye coordination. My hands should not be shaky, and I should have very strong, color sense or color combination sense, or those kind of skills. So unless you speak to people in the area of your interest, you will not be able to get the right kind of guidance. So guidance is very, very important in this case. So what the assessment helps you to understand is, what are your strengths, what do you like, what are your personal attributes. When I say personal attribute, it means that you have the skills like team building skills or communication skills or writing skills, or you're open to traveling, or you're open to talking to people, to talking to strangers, or conduct business meetings. So there are a lot of attributes which define you, and introspection helps you to understand your strengths, your values, and your aptitude, which means that overall, after you've assessed yourself, you know that this is what is me, and this is where my strengths are, and aage ka direction we can decide. So I think all of you can look at these two pictures to understand कि खुशी खुशी पढ़ना चाहते हैं या सरदर्द के साथ पढ़ना चाहते हैं, करियर को बहुत stressfully handle करना चाहते हैं, या फिर enjoy करना चाहते हैं your entire life. So I want you all to understand that career is not just being in a job. Career is doing something which helps you make money. At the same time, it ensures that you're happy working. So that's what is the core of being in employment or being in a career. So when you have to explore career options, you have to keep reading. First of all, important to read what are the various job opportunities, what are the career options after I do BBA or I do BCA or I do an integrated program. So learn and read, talk to people, talk to teachers, faculty, weigh the pros and cons. Pros and cons may, if this career is good enough for me, ke alawa, ki if I have the right kind of funding to fund a program like that, or for my education like that. So not, I might have aspirations to go to USA, but at the same time I have to see if the fund availability with my family is appropriate for a dream like that. So all those pros and cons, if I want to take a loan for higher education, if I want to pursue a course in dramatics or arts or visual arts, so many things. So weigh the pros and cons in terms of how do you think you'll be able to cope up with a career like that. And I will again say that as parents, it's our responsibility to understand that the strength of my child is in certain areas. My daughter might be good at the spoken part of English, but might be able to write the best of English grammar. So which means that I have to find something which is more on the communication side, but not on the English writing side. So similarly, the parents' responsibility is to assess their own child's interests and strengths, and make as much as information available to them through various modes, like apart from internet and people and reading material and videos and counselors and everything that's available in this space to help children get the right kind of guidance. This I've already shared, that there are experts, counselors, teachers, and professionals who work in this field. And of course, as parents and as students also, please choose a journey which you're passionate about, you feel interested about, and then I'm sure success is going to finally come in. So apart from being the usual ones, being in an IT job, or being a chef, or being a teacher, or being a construction engineer, or a doctor, or a pilot, or anything, there are a plethora of career options coming up in various sectors like artificial intelligence, data analytics, machine learning, 3D printing, the technologies that are going to stay here for a lot longer period of time, web development, marketing, digital sales. So there are hundreds and thousands of new job roles that have come up which never existed pre-COVID times. So just a snapshot of what career options for humanities students. Some of them are common for both commerce and science students as well. So you can read through this. Similarly, for commerce students, RBI, NABARD, banking, and all these kind of jobs are available. For science with maths, defense, Btech, architecture, aviation, ethical hacking, merchant navy, research. Science with biology, the first option that comes to your mind is MBBS. But apart from that, there are other science, other programs as well. Agricultural sciences, microbiome, neuroscience, research, allied medicine. So there are a lot of career options with biology as well. So I think I will end my presentation with the same line, which I think you've heard hundreds and thousands of times, that don't run after success, run after what's your passion, what's your calling, what's your natural instinct to, work on, and then success will definitely come naturally. So
Right.
that's all.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that amazing visual presentation. And I think that very well gives them a brief about career guidance. So, as we know, this webinar is all about the counseling, the guidance. And since we know the 12th exams are on, and post this, when the results are out, there will be a lot of, I would say, happenings with the students. Some might have scored really good and looking forward to their college, their dream universities, dream colleges, and some might have scored low. But what if they have scored low? Does that closes all the roads ahead? I think I have always seen that after boards, students are so much in stress. They really do not focus on any other thing. They're just focused on the score, that what if they score low? What if they don't get what they wanted with their expectation? So what would you guide them in that matter?
I would say, something which is now very common and very obvious is that, the marks don't define you. Marks don't define who you are, what you're going to be. And, the internet is full of examples of people who have scored low but are at various, or not even scored low, are not even educated but are at a position where they are creating employment for not hundred but thousands and millions of people. So there is no limit. Sky is the limit. And if you have ambition, if you have a dream, if you have a passion to do something, to create a career for yourself, to create employment and to create employability for others, I think marks no more should be the criteria for self-assessment. I think what you should focus is on learning core skills, hard skills, be it in any sector. So if you want to learn how to weld, how to repair a motorcycle, or you want to learn how to create a chip, microchip, or you want to code, make a new web application or a Play Store application, there are hundreds of things that you can do for which you do not need a minimum qualification of 90% marks in class 12. So look forward, look beyond what is being presented to you as success. Success now has changed its definition.
I truly agree to that. So, Aryan, if you have a question, you can please put it clearly in the Q&A, please. Okay, so let's come to the courses. Like suppose someone who has scored less in 12. Ma'am, what are the courses that are open for them after 12 that they can look up, ahead to that?
Yeah, so I think my presentation had a slide on that. So it depends on the kind of stream that you had in class 12. So if you are from, let's say, humanities, you can apply for banking exams. Then you can get into a tourism course, traveling, ticketing. Then, of course, there is animation, film designing, virtual effects, hotel management, interior designing, fashion designing, mass comm, journalism. Then, of course, there are entrance exams as well. For example, you have NEET and CLAT, which are specific to certain areas of, streams. So apart from this, if you are from commerce, then I think the first thing that comes to your mind is any financial advising position with any government. So there are government organizations. So there are, job opportunities that are circulated in the newspaper also and on sarkarijobs.com as well, which talk about financial, or let's say finance position in various government organizations. Then investment banking, stockbroking, market research, organizations like NABARD. Then, of course, the teaching is one field for various entrance examinations, civil service examinations. I think there are a lot of options for students there as well. For science students, I think we've heard this umpteen number of times apart from Btech. Btech also aviation, statistic, computer application, hacking, ethical hacking, of course, research, defense, and many more.
So I think there are various options, and if you have scored low, then you do not need to think that that's that aim, that it's the road is closed and you don't have anything ahead. There are a lot of options and thing available. Okay, so Anurag over here says I'm currently in HS first year science, aiming for medical career. Ma'am, any suggestions for Anurag?
I'm currently in HS first. What is HS? High
I think
school?
it's higher secondary. Yeah, I think it's higher
Okay.
secondary, and he is aiming
Higher
for a medical
secondary.
career.
Okay, aiming for a higher secondary would mean class 11, right?
Yes.
Aiming for medical career. So, Anurag, what do you want to know? If if you have, yeah, class 11. Thanks, Anurag, for writing that. So, one is, of course, if you're looking at in doing or giving medical entrance exams, you know all the exams that are entrance exams for MBBS or BDS or any other. So prepare well, and I don't know what is your specific question. So what are the entrance exams you want to know, or how
I
you
think
want to prepare is what you want to know?
suggestions for NEET. What if he can't clear NEET? So any suggestions for NEET? Okay.
Okay, so I think in case, yes, now that I have understood your question, in case I think he wants to know, in case I don't get through MBBS and I don't get into a doctor program, what are the options for me? I think microbiome, Ayurveda, homeopathy, pharmacology, pharmacy, horticulture, agricultural sciences, food science, environmental science, physiotherapy, clinical research. There are hundreds of them. So I think if you are only aiming कि मुझे MBBS डॉक्टर ही बनना है और उसमें भी मुझे जनरल फिजिशियन बनना है या मुझे सर्जन ही बनना है, so that if you have that kind of aim, then I'm sure that you're going to succeed. But if you if you're thinking that I want to get into a medical field, then there are options like I just mentioned, that from environmental science, genetics, to forensic, to research, audiology, biochemistry, dentistry. So there are many fields that are open.
Right. I think Anurag, that will help you out and give you a lot of suggestions. Okay. Dhrupen says CA versus automation and AI, which is better? I mean, CA compared to automation and AI. Ma'am, what would be your advice?
So Dhrupen, what is your background? I have to understand if you are from a commerce background, or you're from a science background, or you're from humanities. So what is the path that you've already taken also matters. If you have to ask an IT engineer, he would say artificial intelligence, of course, because that's something as a line of his already, line of work that he's doing. Somebody from engineering would prefer automation, and somebody from finance would commerce background, completed 12th. So I think for you, if you have interest and you think you can appear for the CA exams, which require a lot of patience and a lot of dedication, then I think the right match is CA. But however, technology-driven programs in artificial intelligence or automation are not limited to science students. There are various platforms like Amazon or AWS or Udemy or Coursera, which have courses which can help you get some skills online. Otherwise, for offline programs in automation and other things, there are various institutes that offer short-term and long-term programs.
Right. So
Anurag,
I think
yeah.
ma'am, Dhrupen has a commerce background,
Yeah,
completed 12 recently.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Anurag, can I study MBBS even if I don't clear NEET? Okay. Yes, if you are son or relative of a politician, you can. So I don't think that would be a right thing to do. So yeah. Amazon Web Services. Aryan, Amazon Web Services offer programs in cloud computing.
Right. Okay.
Okay,
Antala has.
Antala has a question. How to BCA college? I'm so excited. I don't understand the question.
Antala, can you just clear your question once again? Like you wanted to opt for a BCA college, or have you got a BCA college? So please clear that so that ma'am can help you out ahead, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So ma'am, since someone who has scored low in 12, not that high enough, so what will be the options in lesser known and tier 2 colleges? Are there options available there also?
Okay. So when you say options in tier 2 cities, for example, Ghaziabad is a tier 2 city in the nearby thing. Okay. Okay. So Ghaziabad is a tier 2 city, but there are some of the very good colleges like IMT in management in Ghaziabad. There is AKG, Ajay Kumargar College in Engineering, Krishna Institute of Engineering. So, so if your question is that, you know, if I live in a tier 2 city, can I aspire to be in good colleges of tier 2 cities? The answer is of course yes. Again, if you want to get into engineering, there are entrance exams. If you want to get into graduation, then also there are decent colleges in tier 2 cities. So I think a city's you know, eligibility should not matter. It's the institution's you know, reputation and place in the market world of work that matters the most, and how the students after doing graduation or post graduation from those colleges are getting placed.
Thank you, ma'am, for that answer. And okay, we have another question from Anurag. What are the options for becoming a soldier or police? That's a question for his younger brother. So for defense, I think soldier or police, I mean IPS or into army.
If you want to get into these are two parallel lines. So being a soldier is a different story, and being a police officer is a different story. For being a soldier, you have to, you know, write different exams, and for being in the Indian police or Delhi police or state police, you have to write different exams. So first, understand what you want to do. You want to become a soldier, then write SSB exams and so on and so forth. If you want to do BC police mein, then you have to write different exams. But the basic criteria is definitely on physical fitness, and class 12 is a minimum qualification. You have to prepare well for the entrance exam for both of them.
Right. Okay. Bhavesh Kumar, ma'am, can you please suggest me course related to finance, business, and knowledge about shares and stocks? So he's interested in shares and stock market.
Course related to finance, business knowledge about shares and stocks. Okay. All right. So there's NIFA, National Institute for Financial Advisory. NIFA offers various courses on shares and stocks. Then there are organizations like Share Khan and others who offer short-term courses in you know, understanding stocks and understanding business trades, current accounts, and all that. So if you want to get into it as a professional, I think NIFA is one of the top names that come to my mind if I have to tell you on stocks and shares.
Right. Okay. Antala question is BCA college after job. I think she is looking for BCA college after job.
She's looking for a BCA college after, so she's working currently and she wants to do BCA?
I think so, yes, ma'am. That's her question.
Okay, so I understand that you've done your class 12, and after class 12, you got into some kind of a job, and now you want to do BCA. Okay, sounds like a good plan. So if you have, you know, sometimes some colleges have eligibility on the years as in what is your age. So if you fall into that age criteria and fulfill that age criteria, I think you can pursue graduation in BCA.
Right. Okay. So Dhruv says, I have much interest in accounting. but I'm worried about automation in my career path. I'm not interested in BCA or MSc IT.
I have interest in accounting, but I'm worried about automation. As in, I think what he says is that I am interested in automation, and he's not interested in BCA or MSc. Okay, so don't do BCA, don't do MSc IT, do, chartered accountancy ka CA ka exam, do those exams. And then if you want to do automation ke courses, then as I suggested, online various portals are there, Udemy, Coursera, and many others. And for long-term programs also, if you want to do residential programs, and even IIMs offer programs in automation and digital, big data, machine learning. So all those programs, they invite by application. Abhi entrance exams nahi hai, application based exams hai. Application based entrance hai, which means that you write your application, send it to them, ask them that you're interested in an automation course, and then based on your application, they shortlist.
Right. Okay. I'll come to another question from Janvi. She says, "Ma'am, I'm planning to study horticulture in Japan. I'm just stressed out about my 12th grade board results. Except physics, all the exams went well. So worried about my percentage because I have messed up my physics exam. So her results will be announced in May."
What is about Japan? She's got a course in Japan.
Yeah, she is planning to study horticulture in Japan, but I think physics paper did not go well, so she's worried about that.
I hope your bio paper went well. So if that's the case, I think you should be good to go. And if your admission in horticulture program is based on class 12th result, so then there must be a criteria cutoff. It will not say that you should have 80 marks in physics. It will only have a cutoff marks that your overall should be, let's say 75% or 80%. So make sure that, even if your physics exam went bad, it should not matter, because the cutoff marks should be met, not the criteria 65. Okay, great. Then I think you'll be able to qualify.
Right. Okay. Aisha wants to know about BArch.
Okay, architecture, I think, is one of the very, very coveted or aspirational field. Architecture, in terms of a bachelor's degree, we have BArch courses, MArch courses, masters in architecture also. There are various institutes, not just in tier 1. I think there are stronger institutes in tier 2 cities, Lucknow, Kanpur, and many others who have great colleges in architecture. And I think, yes, for that, at least 65% marks or 70% marks in your class 12 is a basic requirement. So great career in architecture, because, you see, it's not just about making houses architectures anymore. We are talking about green buildings. We're talking about sustainable buildings. We're talking about buildings or architecture that stays as much as our ancestral architectures have stayed on. So that's why the importance of architectures or engineers or architectural engineers, as we say, is becoming important. We are talking about smart cities. So how we ensure that a city is constructed in such a way that it saves on water, it saves on light, it saves on electricity, all the natural resources. So I think architecture is a very promising career.
Right. Okay. I'll move to another question from Nena. Nena says, "Ma'am, can biotechnology in BSc be good for future?"
Okay. So Nena, the question is that BSc Biotech is a good course or not? Yes, BSc Biotech is definitely a good course, and especially after the COVID and the kind of resource requirement and the resource of and the requirement of manpower that had gone up for pharmacists, biotechnologists, microbiologists, sample collection or data collection specialists, and blood sample testing people. It has risen phenomenally, and of course the sector is seeing a boom, because we never know how or when we fall into a trap again. So BSc Biotech, yes, very important in the coming times.
Right. Okay. Kundan wants to know about computer science for Btech. Okay.
It is good or not?
Yes.
So everything is good, Kundan, if you want to do it. If you have the flair for coding, if you have an interest in understanding algorithms and understanding in writing on a machine and making things work in a certain physical way, tangible way, then of course computer science is good. So you need to have a technological bend of mind to enjoy a computer science career.
Right. Thank you, ma'am, for that answer. Okay. Jay says, could you please compare MBA and BBA stream? See, both, ma'am, if you want to compare both, I mean, both are like two different things.
Yeah. So one is a graduate course, Jay. One is a postgraduate course to start with. One is, gives you a very bird's eye view of what management, what administration is about. And MBA gives you an in depth of what businesses are, how businesses are run, what are the various aspects of business, how supply chain, how operations, how strategies, how marketing, how sales teams, or how everything in a business world works. So MBA is far deeper, is a far deeper study. BBA is just an introduction to management and administration.
Right. Okay. So Nana just extended her question about any suggestions for good colleges, ma'am, for BSc in biotechnology.
Sorry, I missed your question. Sorry.
Yeah, ma'am, Nana just extended her question. Any good college suggestions for BSc in biotechnology?
Okay, good colleges in BSc Biotechnology depends where you are. If you are in Delhi NCR, there are South Delhi, or let's say South Campus colleges, various colleges which offer BSc Biotech, microbio courses, Swami Dayanand College also. So I think depends where you're living, and also good to, before you take admission, it's good to have a conversation with people who have passed out to understand what are the kind of placements and the kind of studies that have happened in the colleges.
Right, right. Okay. So there's a parent, ma'am, who wants to know about his son. Trupti Nashida Bhatkar. She wants to know about her son Sarthak, asking about mechanical or mechatronics. Which one has a good scope in future?
Okay. So mechanical is hardcore, handling machines, and mechatronics is mechanical plus electronics, which means that the science or the study of learning how machines can be electronically dealt, repaired, worked, coded to do certain jobs. For example, mechatronics means that my smart washing machine wakes up at 5:30 in the morning, beeps, asks me to put load, and then goes off. Then I can go off. Or even if I put my clothes already, then it automatically wakes up at 5:30 in the morning, and then it washes off the clothes, auto dries it, and then beeps me again to tell me that the work is done. So the whole concept of how a machine is coded to perform certain tasks is the job of mechatronics, while on the other hand, mechanical is, engines, is about robotics, or is about the functioning of machines, the study of functioning of machines.
Right. Okay. Okay. Vaibhav is asking about good colleges in Pune for BCA. So, Vaibhav, have you cleared your 12? Have you given your 12 this year and you're looking for options in BCA? So, okay, ma'am, we can suggest some good colleges in Pune.
Okay, so it depends on your interest also, whether you want to go to various state funded or private colleges. Depends on the your ability to the college fees as well. So there are various factors, but I think Pune has good colleges, not just Symbiosis, which is the kind of has become synonymous to Pune, the Symbiosis University. Then there are other colleges as well, DI Patil and Singad and many others. So I think you should apply or put in your application for at least 5-7 colleges, because there are a lot of students who apply for admissions, and based on your qualification and your application, they get selected. So I think you should apply for as much as colleges as possible.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, another thing related to class 12 is if someone has scored low in 12, can they opt for any integrated programs ahead? And and if yes, what are those integrated programs?
Okay. I think integrated programs are a very, very fantastic way of saving some time and giving you skills in one go. Because traditionally speaking, we used to do 3 years of graduation and then do 2 years of post graduation. That 3 year of graduation, if I'm doing in BBA, and then I reappear for some exams and then appear for MBA or Btech, Mtech, or law, and then masters in law. So various other programs have come up over these years, which are called the integrated programs, 3+2 programs, which combine graduation and post graduation together. So there are many colleges. In fact, IIMs are pioneers in offering integrated programs in management. Apart from that, there is National Law University, there are BBMBA colleges, there are BCA integrated program, BCMCA integrated programs, Btech, Mtech integrated programs. So depending on your stream, I think it's a good idea, and I would encourage, because basically graduation, the government is planning to increase it to 4 years. So as good as take up an integrated program, get a post graduation degree after 5 years, than do a graduation in 4 years.
Right. Okay. Bhavesh has extended a question. Is there a good scope in NIFA or any FA in the current market?
Okay. So, Bhavesh, over the last 20-30 years, NIFA has established its name in financial advisory. So I am not saying stay limited to NIFA, but if you are finding competitive programs with placement, with industry exposure, or with some kind of internship opportunities, please go for them, because there might be better programs being offered nowadays, which offer combination of not just theoretical learning but also practical learning. Bhagyashree, you're on mute.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So Kundan just says, I have one more question. I want to prepare for IIT JEE. Can I go for it, or is it too late? I've just finished my 12th.
So I think JEE ka date is a little postponed for this year. So you have some 2-3 months. However, looking at the trend of JEE, I will not say that you cannot do it in 2-3 months. If you put in your hard work, nothing is impossible. But you have to be confident to be able to finish the syllabus of JEE entrance in 2-3 months.
Yes, and Kundan, we recently did a webinar. I think last week we have done a webinar on JEE, and we are coming up with another webinar on JEE. So please keep a check on Shiksha's LinkedIn page and our Instagram page. We'll keep posting all the upcoming webinars. So you just need to register free for those webinars and be part, because there'll be experts who'll guide you about all those last minute things. So please keep a tab on those things. Rest, if you want, you can always mail us and we can help you out with that, right? Okay. Parth says, can I study BCA without maths? So he just wants to remove maths and study BCA.
So in the first year, maths is a subject to study, Parth. You cannot go away studying maths in the first year. But in the second and third year, there are more computer-based programs or subjects than core maths. So first year, my maths is not going anywhere. You have to study. You're on mute, Bhagyashree.
Yeah. Okay, so we have another question. Please suggest some of the finest online schools or academics that provide music, audio creation related educational certifications. Okay,
This is a
that's an
difficult
interest.
one.
Yeah, and a different type of question that we have received here from Deepak Parashar. Okay.
Finest schools, academies that provide music, audio creation related educational certifications. I am not an
So,
expert in this area. I will not give
Deepak,
this answer.
I
No.
think Shiksha can help you in that. You can just log on to our ask shiksha.com and providedly we'll have some answers for you there. We'll have our experts who can help you out there. So please don't worry. You can definitely put your queries on that, and I think you'll find a good answer to that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Bhavesh, we cannot really repeat the answer because we really don't have that much of time, but the entire video will be there on YouTube in some time. So please just go through that entire video as many times you want and you can have your answer, right? So don't worry about it. But even if you find any more questions, Ask Shiksha is there. Just put up your queries there and we have experts and panelists who will be there, writing articles and helping you out with those things, right? So don't worry about it. Okay. Vaibhav says, ma'am, in second and third year, can we skip maths in BC? Again, a question on maths. I think maths, all of them are not liking maths at all.
That's how the course is structured. We really can't help. So maths is going to be a part. So some number magic has to happen. No, how will you know that what you're studying, how much marks you've got, what is the percentage? So basic acumen has to be ensured that you get. So yes.
Okay, right, Vaibhav, we understood that. Aisha, we have already mentioned about BR. Ma'am has already explained about it. So please go through the entire video on YouTube. And I think you'll find all the answers there. Yeah. So we have taken up your question. I think you did miss out that, but we did take up that question. So don't worry. Okay. All right. Coming to ma'am, private colleges, some of them have also asked that what if they've scored low for some reason in 12th and they want to opt for a private colleges. How many options are there, and is that a good thing to to take up private colleges?
Yeah, definitely. I think the answer is big yes, because our state or government or federal structure cannot consume all these students that come or enter the education undergraduate programs as well. So be it a private institute or a state or a central university, central college, or any institution, I think I will definitely encourage institutions may admission which promise good faculty, good teaching faculty, progressive, which has a R&D department, which technologically or research wise keeps updating itself on course and curriculum, provides exposure to industry, provides exposure to students to visit nearby or digitally if possible plants, manufacturing units, or service areas, or service industry organizations, and of course placements, last but not the least, the placements of the institutions should also be promising. So overall, this is how the NIRF, the National Institute ranking framework, also works. That what are the kind of innovation the college or university has worked on, what are the kind of industry academia partnerships that they have done, what is their stand on bringing employability question at a higher level in their students. All these combined become the ranking of the institute, and do look up at the NIRF rankings whenever you are looking for a college.
Right. Okay. Parth is asking about future of BA Political Science honors. Okay.
Okay. So first is, of course, the sector or the qualification, the education in political science opens opportunities in the social sector, in the development sector, in the government sector. So broadly speaking about the sectors, and then of course when you're doing an honors course, it opens doors for you, not just in the area of higher education, where you could do a master's in political science. Then there is, after that, you can look forward to a career in policy advocacy, in the areas of strategy schemes, national schemes, implementation programs for the government. Then a political science graduate helps in the research and development areas of government in terms of conducting surveys, statistics. The National Statistic Organization, they also recruit students from political science background to have an understanding of the demographic of the country. So the scope is quite good. But I will only say the word of caution is that you do it from a good college, because if it is only about writing exams, there'll be no learning.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, Deepak says, is it possible to reappear for 12th via NIOS only for mathematics stream, since I had already done 12th in biology stream? Okay.
No, I don't think so. If you enrolled for class 12th with biology, then if you have to reappear, if you're failed, or if you have to write a re-exam, then it will be for the subjects that you have enrolled for in class 12. You can't change your subject.
Right. And I think there was also a question related to this, that if they have scored low, or like the score is very, very low and they don't want to opt, ahead for graduation, can they like skip a year and sit again the next year and prepare well and then go ahead for graduation? Is that possible?
So you're saying score is low and you want to appear for class 12 again?
Yeah.
That's possible in NIOS, but I don't think that's possible in public or private schools. Like to get an admission again in class 12 will be very difficult, because the private schools, they work on, a fixed number of seats. So either you fail and you remain in the same class for the entire year with new batchmates who move in from class 11. But if you drop out or you move out of the school after failing class 12, then you can do class 12 for the next year from NIOS, the open school.
Right. I think that sums up the entire thing. And I think we did go on to a lot of topics. Just another last question, ma'am. Are there any entrance-based exam or courses that they can opt for if in a scenario where they have scored low in 12th, and they can straight away go to that entrance and move ahead for graduation?
There are many. I think for most of the entrance exam, there's a basic criteria of 50% marks or 55% marks. But if you're saying that it's below 55, then you'll have to see for various exams your eligibility. For example, for Indian Navy, there might be a different cutoff. For NEET, it's definitely a different cutoff. For defense, it is going to be a different cutoff. So depends on exam to exam as to what is your percentage. If it is 45%, then you look through what are the various exams that you can give, or do you fit the eligibility criteria, and then you write the exam.
Since ma'am, there is a lot of mental pressure, that they go through during these time. So what would you like to recommend them for, eliminating these kind of mental stress while they're preparing for the exam, or while they're, they are sitting for the exams right now? So how do they mentally prepare themselves?
I think over the years, I have learned one thing, which is that if you have to deal with stress, there has to be some hobby which helps you de-stress, which could be music, playing music, listening to music, creating music, anything. It could be some kind of artwork, drawing or writing or painting or anything which could release all the stress that you have. It could be some kind of physical fitness. Somebody likes to hit the gym, somebody likes to cycle, somebody likes to play badminton, swimming or running, some kind of physical activity. And last but not the least, I think most important is that you talk and you know, convey your feelings and your emotions to any of your family members. Mostly it is moms, and I will still encourage that, you know, people or children should speak to their moms about their stress. um, and one no or no go is, please reduce whatever is your screen time, reduce it. It doesn't help. So, you know, market that I will watch screen for 2 hours or 3 hours a day, apart from your you know, school education or whatever you're doing. Mark that I will additionally do 1 hour. Even in that 1 hour, specify that I will do 15 minutes of Instagram, or 12 minutes of Facebook, or 30 minutes of WhatsApp. Define it and try and stick to it. Because if you cross your own discipline, or you don't follow your own discipline, it adds no value. It only creates loss of time. So I think that's
Right.
how you can be, you know, better placed in terms of releasing your stress.
Okay. Deepak, one last question is this. We'll end up with this question. And ma'am, Deepak wants to know about NIOS. Does they conduct online classes, and how they can get admission in 12th? And before ma'am answers this, I have launched a poll on your screens. So meanwhile, ma'am is answering the question. You all can fill up this feedback poll for us and share your valuable feedback regarding the entire session. How helpful was the session? I think a lot of queries got resolved here. I think a lot of you have got your answers regarding 12th, and post that what all career options you can take, colleges, college suggestions, different subjects. So I think the session was quite helpful to all of you, because your feedback will help us, and we'll get ahead and understand your thing, that how helpful was this and what all you want to improve. So meanwhile, you are filling up the form, so ma'am can answer the last very question for NIOS. Yes, ma'am.
So to understand the admission process, Deepak, I will suggest that you visit the NOIS website. The admissions are currently, I think, on for this session. You can download the prospectus, read what are the timings. Usually there is one once in a month, or twice in a month kind of a physical classroom class that happens, or the learning material reaches the student. And then over the year, you have certain number of offline classes, and then your exam gets conducted. So right now, during the COVID, they did conduct online classes, because those physical classes could not be conducted. And that's why it's called an open school, because the whole concept is providing education or schooling over the weekend, or over a period of time, where you don't have to be at the school every day. So visit nios.ac, and there you'll find the information of getting admissions.
Right. And ma'am, before we wrap up the session, one piece of advice to all the class 12 students who have like appeared for the exam. Some of them might be appearing. So before the results are declared, I know they are right now in a different kind of mental thing, and worried and stressed upon the future that they're going to take ahead. So as an expert counselor, I am sure you go through a lot of these things. You have worked on different policies for students. So ma'am, one advices would you like to give to the students, and how do you like your personal experience, how do you deal with these things, what all experiences you have in that?
I think whatever I say would also be my closing remarks.
Yes.
I think to sum it up, not just the country's vision, because I am at a place where I see the central government's efforts to raise awareness and to direct education towards a skill-based education model, which means that I do not have roted learning, which means कि मुझे सिर्फ रट्टे हुई चीजें याद ना रहे कि मैं आज रात को पढूं और अगले दिन सुबह उगल दूं और मेरा पेपर 100 on 100 हो जाए. So वो फॉर्मेट से निकलने के लिए the national education policy is in place, and which talks about कि हम बच्चों को बताएंगे कि what are the various careers. हमें नहीं पता फायर फाइटर कैसे बनते हैं और उनकी कितना इंपॉर्टेंट रोल होता है, या हमें नहीं पता कि कंस्ट्रक्शन साइट्स में कितने सेफ्टी प्रोटोकॉल्स होते हैं, या वी डोंट नो व्हाट इज द क्राइटेरिया टू बिकम अ बेकर. सो कुछ अभी भी ऐसे बहुत सारे प्रोफेशंस हैं जो अनटच्ड हैं, जो अनकॉमन है, and we want to expose as you know, as an effort to tell students that there are hundreds of career options available apart from just being a doctor, engineer, or a science graduate, or a commerce graduate. So there are many options, and we should be open to explore, learn new things, expose yourself to a world of work, which means try and visit industries, try and meet people, try and get into internship opportunities at workplaces, so that this happens. And understand your strengths, understand what are you good at, if you know what you're bad at, know how to improve it, talk to your seniors and guides who can advise you on how to get better on things that you currently are not good at. So I think that I hope, Bhagishri, that answers your question.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much for all the valuable piece of information and all the advices you have given out. And I hope that will really help the students to, calm and ease them at this point of time, and, help them decide and take the
Yeah.
right decision ahead. So thank you everyone for being part of this webinar, and we hope to come up ahead in future with more such webinars, counseling sessions, counseling webinars that we are doing here. And for any feedback, please, you can always directly come to us on our website, Ask Shiksha, or mail us and share your feedbacks, right? So thank you so much everyone for being part of this webinar. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you everyone. Good evening.